How can we get you to open up and make your quirks work? I am a big believer. I say it proudly. I have more issues than tissues. I have more drama than a soap opera in my life. And you know what? That's what makes me me. How I deal with it is what makes me successful. For years and years and years, I tried to change that, deny that, release that. And I found, although some people do really well doing that, it didn't work for me. Now I embrace the drama. Everyone calls me and my family the drama queen, and they love it because they know that's the best part of me. I learned how to manage it because, like anything, too much of anything is not a good thing. But when I embrace it and trust the process of my life, wonderful things happen. So I would like you to write down the 3 things that you think are disempowering you, or the reasons or the excuses why you can't get what you desire. Write them down right now. And we are going to make a commitment together to turn them into quirks, not excuses. Because if they're there, they have a use. So write down right now 3 things that we can turn into quirks that if you knew how to leverage them, you'd be a smashing success. The brilliant thing about Make Your Quirks Work is that it teaches you to accept where you are, which is the first step in the journey of abundance. Most of us are not willing to accept that we have quirks and we're trying to be perfect before we get on the journey. How many of us have heard what I'm speaking about before? And I've heard it before. I've heard it thousands of times. I've invested thousands of dollars to go to great seminars with great teachers. And I'm really inspired when I get there. And I'm so excited I don't even need the car or the plane to get home. And then I get into everyday life and I'm like, okay, what did I learn? How am I supposed to put it together? Wait a minute. I know they said something great. What was it? I can't quite remember it the way I heard it the first time. This is the reason why I've spent the first 20 minutes of our time together explaining to you how the universe works if we will allow it to work for us. So what I've introduced to you is a new concept for some of you. Let's work smarter, not harder. Rather than us choosing to do all the work by ourselves, let's allow the universe to join us and leverage its power and guide its power, which is actually our power, to create the things we desire, rather than go out of our authentic self, meaning to step out of what we know is right for us, to sell our soul to some job or some relationship or something we think will bring us what we desire, and step into our truth, because this is the universal truth. The universe does not require you to sell your soul or sell your integrity to receive success. If that is what you are experiencing right now, that you feel you are being given the promised land, but the price is your blood, your sweat, your tears, your family, whatever you hold dear, stop right now. It's not the universe in front of you. The universe will never, ever ask you to sacrifice who you are to receive your birthright. However, with that said, the universe will ask you to release, what is not of your spirit, what is not of your truth, and what is not of your integrity to receive your birthright. Many of us are trying to wheel and deal with the universe. Well, universe, I don't want to let go of this job, but I do really desire to be a millionaire. Well, maybe the job you're in will never be able to provide you what you ask for, And you have to release that job to create a space or a void in your universe for the universe to bring you that which you desire. Now that I've said that, I'm going to reverse it, because for some of you, the opposite is true. Some of you are trying to build a business part-time while you're working a job. In my older circles, they used to call that a JOB, Journey of the Broke. And if any one of us had a job besides our part-time business, well, we weren't believing in ourselves, we weren't trusting the universe, and we were on this journey of endless poverty. For those who are in that position, I want to tell you, stop listening to that garbage. You do not want to believe any longer that JOB is a journey of the broke. Instead, I would like you to adopt an attitude of gratitude and be thankful for that job, because that is your seed money that is going to give birth to your millions. If you have a steady income and you require a steady income to maintain your current responsibilities, and you don't have to worry about money because at least your bills are being paid, well, that gives you a freedom to take risks, and to trust the universe and build this relationship with this wonderful place called the universe in our lives to open up and receive goodies. Maybe you're in this job to receive contacts and to create relationships that are going to launch your business. Maybe because of this job, you are able to put your kids through college and not have that sense of responsibility or guilt that you couldn't afford for your children. And now once they're okay, now you have more time to pursue your dream. Or it could be that you don't have the right skills to be able to go full-time into business, but you are getting paid by your employer to learn skills that you can then apply to your business. I call that really savvy. I have to pay people. I have to pay coaches to learn new skills. I don't get paid to learn. So if you have a job that is teaching you skills or allowing you to create discipline in yourself or to build your self-esteem or that allows you to kind of network and get business for your business, well, that is a very savvy person. You're getting paid to market your business. You're getting paid to let others build your dream. And I don't think that's anything to be embarrassed about. So what I'd like to teach you so you can start actually applying what you need to create what you desire in your life right now, because I know that's what you guys are thinking. You're saying, Kim, this sounds wonderful, but how do I do this in life too? Well, it's 3 words. I want you to write them down and declare them really proud. It's called extreme self-care. My motto is, when in doubt, extreme self-care it out. Because if you desire to be a millionaire, if you desire success on a very grand scale, then this is what you need to master first. I have a lot of clients who come to me saying, Kim, I want to make more money, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. And I say, great. And I ask them 3 questions. How well do you sleep? How well do you eat? And how many times a week do you exercise? And they go, oh, I don't have time for that. I said, really? So then you don't have time to be a millionaire. What? Well, I can do all that once I make my millions. Really? If you won't take care of the dimes, I guarantee you cannot take care of the dollars. Believe me, I have tried. It does not work. So if you desire to be a millionaire and you desire to be so successful you can't stand yourself, you need to get on board to the Success Express and get on and get into extreme self-care. I told you what extreme self-care looks like for me. Some of those are fundamentals that should be in everyone's extreme self-care routine, but basically what extreme self-care is what you require to bring your spirit into a peaceful place, to feel rejuvenated, to feel energized, and to feel fulfilled. Extreme self-care is the way you manage your energy, because $1 million has a much bigger energy than, let's say, 50,000. Would you not agree? And if you're tired being a steward to 50,000, well, $1 million will just about kill you. And if you don't believe me, go study people who have won the lottery or these great superstars and great singers who came from nothing, became rich really fast, and found themselves in a short amount of time broke, broken, and not very happy. And I'm sure that's not a story that you all want for yourselves. So the way around the stress of what you're currently doing and to be able to enjoy the success you desire to create, one must adopt an extreme self-care routine. For some of you, that means spending more time with your friends. For others, it means spending more alone time on a daily basis. For all of you, I'm going to give you my recommended routine that you're willing to adopt until you get farther along on your journey and you can create your own. A simple extreme self-care method or regimen would be every single day, write down the 5 things that you could be grateful for in that given day. Write down the 5 things that you're most proud of yourself for in that day. Declare at least 10 positive, self-serving beliefs that as you declare them makes you feel energized and powerful. Also make sure you're getting 8 hours of sleep a day and that you're moving your body for at least 15 minutes. And that you eat at least 3 square meals a day, or if that doesn't work for you, divide them into 6. If you do that, along with respect your money, and we do a whole class on that, and that could be as simple as balancing your checkbook every day, to making sure you clean out your wallet or purse at night, putting all your change in a jar. It can be very simple. building a relationship with money. That is enough to make you a multimillionaire. It allows you to be successful in any area of your life that you choose. It doesn't matter what it is. This is the foundation of all success. Now, some of you are thinking, Kim, it sounds great, but if you only knew how busy my life is, I can't find time to go to the bathroom, never mind add these things to my existing routine. Well, let me share with you, I wish I could tell you I hatched out of an egg, but I'd be lying. I was the busiest human doing that you could ever meet. I was running at warp speed all the time, never could take the time to do what I just said. Never went to bed before 11 o'clock, eating what's that, exercising if I could find the time, and never thought I could apply this to my life. So the universe gave me a couple of gifts. At 21, due to a life event, I was trying to become a hyper being, a hyper doing at warp speed, and the universe gave me the gift of a depression so severe that I could not do anything for 6 months, that I literally had to stop my life and learn how to live in a depression so I could lift it to get back into my life. And by the time I learned coping skills, the life that I knew it was gone, and I had to start all over. While most of my friends and peers were graduating college, I was graduating therapy, learning how to live every day, like one day at a time. And from there, that is where I learned what I'm teaching you now. I had nothing else to do. My treatment plan was extreme self-care. And when I learned how to manage that, that is when I was allowed to get back into my business, and I learned to manage extreme self-care and my business, and I started to realize that you can be in extreme self-care and make more money than you did before and have more fun. And I was doing great, and I rebuilt my business, and I was moving on the fast track, and then I started to forget what I spent 6 months learning, and I started to let my extreme self-care routine slide, and I stopped putting myself first because now I had more people to manage, and I had more people responsible for me, and I was responsible for more people, so of course I didn't have time to do what I just said. And the universe, benevolent universe that it is, only having my best interest at heart, knowing my desire was to be the best human being I could be, gave me the gift of being on a street at the wrong time, or one would say the right time, at a stoplight. A kid in a truck didn't see that the light was red and used me as his stopper and sandwiched my car between his and the car in front. Heard a pop in my neck. From that moment forward, if you asked me where my neck was, it was on my right shoulder. Thinking, no problem, a couple days rest, and I'll be fine, get back because I have a lot of things to do. I'm sure none of you can relate to that. Don't have time to take care of myself, too much to do. It turned out that 3-day rest was a 4-month in bed, not being able to walk without help, a year away from my business and being able to work at all, and 3.5 years physical therapy, which required me to work for someone else because I didn't have the energy or stamina that was required to maintain a full-time business on my own. I can tell you, I was not the chipper, enthusiastic person that's talking to you now. I was pretty bitter. I was upset. I was angry. And I was not liking extreme self-care. The good news and the gift in that time in my life is that I was forced to put me first. I was forced, literally, to put one foot in front of the other, to accept the big successes in the little successes. The car accident forced me to let go of expectation, what I think success should look like to me. I used to pride myself and feel successful if I made $10,000, $20,000 a month at that time. My new definition of success was to be able to get out of bed by myself and walk across the room without help. Learning every day that if I could get out of bed, that day was a good day. It changed my whole definition of success, and the gift is that it allowed me, or actually forced me, to let go of expectations in my life. What I thought was being forced upon me was actually my gift and introduction to the life of my dreams. I couldn't see it then, but it led me to where I am now. It led me to a job where I learned how to create the discipline I needed for this job, the career that I'm in now. It also introduced me to the contacts who would launch my business on a year that I lost my job. I didn't have any capital to invest in my business, and I was over $20,000 in debt. And in 6 months, I paid off my debt, and I was building an executive coaching practice. And what's so neat about that is that people in my industry told me do not quit my day job for 5 to 7 years, because that is how long it would take me to be able to build up my practice to replace a full-time job. So what looks like sometimes the hardest break in our life is really the gift in disguise. Sometimes you have to make that hard break to be able to reset a broken dream. And I'm hoping for some of you listening that you don't have to travel the road I did. Although if you do, I know you will find the same gift that I did. But for those of you who don't feel the need to go down that road, practicing the principles of extreme self-care is enough to stop that runaway train, get it to slow down. You'll have that ability when the time comes to change tracks and get on a more authentic path. Extreme self-care is the process to be able to work smarter, not harder.
Hey, can you imagine living your dream?